What is up? What is up? How y'all doing today? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Here we go. Today we're talking about college football, guys. College football week 1 just passed. And let me tell you, it was one exciting weekend. A lot of surprises that some people guessed, some people didn't. One of them that I know I guessed was LSU whooping the dog crap out of Miami. That was an awesome game for LSU and Ed Orgeron. A lot of people didn't know what Ed Orgeron was going to do this year, if he was going to be. This is kind of a make or break year for Ed Orgeron. Beating a team like Miami right out the gate was really, really big for him. So with that, we're going to get down to it. I think the final score was 3-17, something like that. The thing that is ridiculous about that is and it's going to take a couple of games to figure out whether to figure out what it is that made them this good. And to be honest, the difference in that game was LSU's defensive line. Their defensive line destroyed Malik Rozier. Or could be that Miami's offensive line is just that damn terrible. From what I saw, I really think that the defensive line is just that good. And the offensive line may be that bad too. But I really think it's just the defensive line is that good. They played very well. They caused 2 picks in that game. The defensive line caused 2 picks. One with a tip ball and one with with hitting Malik Rozier. Is how they caused it. Who is in here? I don't know who you are. Who are you? There's someone in there watching me. I don't know who you are. I can't see who you are. Anyway. So yeah. That's game number 1. LSU beat the dog crap out of Miami. Penn State almost lost to App State, which was that was fun to watch. That would have been really cool to see App State come up with a victory, beating another Big Ten school. I'm gonna turn the light on real quick. Turn the light on. That's better. That's nice. So yeah, they did that. Then and Trey McSorley had a really good game. That was about the only good thing that happened for Penn State. Their running back isn't bad, but he's no Saquon Barkley. Excuse me, guys. At all. Whatsoever. Oklahoma beat the crap out of, I think, Florida Atlantic, like 63-17. Like that's ridiculous. Lane Kiffin at Florida Atlantic, who used to coach, used to be the offensive coordinator at Alabama, used to be the head coach at Tennessee, at USC, even Oakland Raiders, is a head coach at Florida Atlantic, and he got whacked in the face like that. And that's pretty funny because I don't really like Lane Kiffin that much. I think he's kind of arrogant. But anyway, we'll get to the rest of that. The next game we'll go in about. There's only 3 of these. Doing some little coffee pouches here, guys. I'm a little tired. Gotta get my energy up. Some Get Grinds pouches. I've done a video on here. Y'all go check out that video of the Get Grinds. The next game, Florida State and Virginia Tech. That happened Monday night, and Virginia Tech beat Florida State pretty bad, pretty damn bad. They played all around a very good football game. Florida State did not look like they were a top 25 team at all, in my opinion. They were making silly mistakes. They were not blocking, especially on offense. Their defense wasn't bad. Their defense played about as good as you can with what they were dealt with that night. I will say that. But with how their offense played, man, that's not man, they've got a lot of work to do this week. A lot to do this week. Then we had. Dang, I'm drawing a blank here, guys. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Maryland, Texas. I told Maryland was gonna beat that Bats. I told you they were gonna beat that Bats. Yeah, Maryland beat Texas. It was a very good game to watch. It was very, very good. But if you watched it, Maryland really had that game under control for a while. Had 2 picks off of Ellinger. Excuse me, Ellinger. And the name I want y'all to keep up with from Maryland is Jason James. That kid is a very good. He's a wide receiver over there, and he's very, very fast, very, very good. Another thing I saw this weekend is there are a lot of good receivers. A lot of good receivers this year, especially when I was watching the Auburn-Washington game. Washington has a plethora of good receivers. What they did. It's weird. Okay. Well, Washington has 3 or 4 different guys that are really good receivers. Really good receivers. I mean, they were making diving catches and one-handed catches, and I know y'all can't see me right now, but I'm so sorry. Sorry for that. Come on, Beth. She's got to come with me. But yes, it was interesting to watch that Washington had those kind of receivers. Washington got beat. It was a very good game, though. Washington did not have the offensive line. That was their weakness. Was their offensive line was not good at all. Washington's offensive line is probably the worst offensive line I have seen in a while. So they're not going to be much this year unless they get that fixed. Unless their offensive line somehow magically becomes 10 times better and can block an SEC lineman. Now, I will say Auburn's defensive line is very, very, very stout. Extremely stout. They're very good offensive line. They will come after you and move you out of their way in a heartbeat. And it doesn't take them long to do it. You know, they're very strong, they're very fast. They read the plays very fast. It's a good, solid defense for Auburn. And their quarterback, Jared Stinchcomb, he looked very good. He's passing the ball. They passed the ball a lot more. I noticed that about Auburn. They were passing a lot more, not just play action plays, though. They were just dropping back and having success with that is something that they're not used to doing. That's new for them. So that kind of, I want to see if they can continue having success doing that to see how they're going to do. The next game is Georgia versus Austin Peay. Of course, Georgia beat them horribly, soundly, 45-0. Quarterback looked good, receivers looked good, running backs looked good. The defense, I want to see some more stuff out of the defense. We got bailed out a lot. Bailed out a lot as in we should have Austin P should have had at least 10 points in that game, and they didn't. Um, not because of the defense, but because they didn't get it in the end zone. So I want to see some more out of our defense. I want to see, especially with this upcoming weekend's game against South Carolina, that's going to be a really good game. And that'll be in another video, my week 2 predictions. We'll do that later on tonight. But yeah, so far. Oh, and then Tennessee versus West Virginia. West Virginia had one hell of a game against Tennessee. I thought Tennessee was actually going to do okay against that game, might even win the game if they had certain things in place. But they did not at all. Will Greer destroyed that defense. Threw for 400 yards. He was a monster. Y'all keep him in your Heisman bracket there. Oh, man. Him, Wisconsin rolled over some people. Just destroyed, who was it? Western Kentucky. They had like 7 or 8 in the box at a time and was just plowing it up the middle. Just manually destroying and powerhousing men. It was ridiculous. They were just running it right at them, and there was nothing they could do about it. Wisconsin's going to be a tough team to stop. Now, Stanford, on the other hand, Stanford could not run the daggone ball. They could not run the ball. I think Bryce Love ended up, who was a Heisman candidate, remember, preseason Heisman candidate, started out, ended the game with 29 or 30 yards on 14 carries, which is horrible. I mean, I would be pissed if I was a Stanford head coach right now, or offensive coach, or Stanford fan, because you're known for running the ball. That's what you're known for. That's your best player on your team, and he got 29 yards the entire game. Really? Nah. Now, granted, they were playing San Diego State. Now, a lot of y'all are like, oh, San Diego State. Oh, my God. They should have whooped their ass. Well, they did whoop their ass. But at the same time, in the first half, I think it was the first half, it was a very close game because San Diego State's actually a very good team. They're very sound. They execute well. They have a lot of players. They actually produce a lot of players that go to the NFL, too. So don't sleep on a small school like San Diego State, because they will come back and beat your ass, pretty much. I know Oregon won like 58-12 or something like that. I can't remember who they played. Ohio State beat the doggy doo-doo out of Oregon State, which was pretty interesting, to be honest with you. I was not expecting it to be that bad. I mean, I knew it was going to be bad, but Jesus. That was awful. But my favorite so far has been that with what am I looking at? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna show you. Let's see. Yeah, it was 31-10 for Stanford, San Diego State. Oh, Michigan State, Utah State. That was a really close game that should not have been close at all. Michigan State should have destroyed Utah State. They really should have. That was way too close. Western Kentucky won. Got beat by Wisconsin 34-3. Florida Atlantic lost 63-14. Ohio State 77-31 against Oregon State. Ridiculous. TCU beat Southern University by 55-7. Texas, Maryland won that 34-29. Clemson 48-7. Clemson is a dangerous team. We all know this. They're one of those teams that is just like Alabama. They're gonna be there a minute. You know what I mean? Penn State, App State, which was way too close. It was 45-38. 45-0 for Georgia. 21-16 Auburn, Washington. West Virginia beat Tennessee 40-14. That's what I wanted to know the score of that game because I thought Tennessee was actually going to be decent this year, you know, but apparently they're not going to. Let's look at the box score for this game. So it was 17-7 in the first half, and then the third quarter was the kicker where West Virginia came out and scored 20 on them. Will Grier was 25 for 34, which is 74% for 429 yards, threw 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. And for Tennessee, Jared Guarantano, I guess, threw for 172 with 1 touchdown. I mean, that's ridiculous. Total net yards compared. West Virginia had 547. Tennessee had 301. Wow. Now, one thing I will say. USC won against UNLV 43-21, which was actually a pretty good close game to watch, honestly. Boise State beat Troy 56-20. Michigan Notre Dame was actually a very good game. That was another game where I saw some really good receivers out of Notre Dame. They're going to be a team that is in the top 10, top 5, maybe at the end of this year. From what I've seen from their offense, if their offense plays like that every single night that they play, they're going to be up in the playoff contention. No doubt about it. Mississippi State won against SF Austin. They beat them 63-6, man. Oregon beat Bowling Green 58-24. Alabama, Louisville 51-14. I was looking for it was South Carolina. So I'm looking for here. South Carolina, because that is our team that we play next, Georgia. There are no games. Oh, well, no, duh. Wrong conference, dumbass. I don't care about any of that. There we go. All right, here we go. Texas A&M beat Northwest State 59-7. South Carolina beat Coastal Carolina 49-15. It's pretty good. Not gonna lie. South Carolina do a little scouting on Bryce Carpenter here for Coastal Carolina. He threw for 11 for 13, threw for 91 yards. not too great. Jake Bentley for South Carolina, who's going to be who we face 22 to 29 for 29, 76% completion percentage, 250 yards, 4 touchdowns, averaged 8 yards per pass. It's not bad at all. And Coastal had a lot of guys running the ball. Just gonna say that. Jake Bentley had 4 carries for -1 yards. Those are probably just sacks or tackles behind the line of scrimmage if he did run. I know Jake Bentley can run, but it doesn't look like they were doing that too much. Slade Carroll, 4 carries for 46 yards. Rice Dowdle at 15, or Rico Dowdle, excuse me, 15 carries for 105 yards. He had a touchdown, a rushing touchdown. Jake Bentley did have a fumble. Maybe DeAndre Walker can come up and take it from him. I don't know. Your next guy running the ball the most was Tyson Williams at 11 carries, but he only had 82 yards, which in total they had a very, very good amount. Excuse me. They had some pretty good rushing yards. Not gonna lie. All right. Net yards rushing, they had 263. Total net yards, they had 557. They held Coastal Carolina, to 238. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all.
She thought it would be best for him to get back to school and get back to this football season that was so eagerly anticipated. We had an opportunity to have a very good football team.
Sorry guys. Arkansas beat Eastern Illinois 55-20. People kind of expected that. Florida, Charleston South, they beat them 53-6. Felipe Franks is their quarterback that they're putting behind center, which he had 219 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Okay. Good deal. God, this remote control is so slow. It's so slow. Iverson Clement had 1 carry, 5 yards. Nothing doing. They ran a lot of different guys. The most they ran was Damian Pierce at 9 carries with 73 yards. And they ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different players. That's ridiculous. Mississippi State, Southern, yeah. Well, guys, so far, what we've got is conclusion of everything. LSU, one hell of a defensive line. and D-backs to capitalize on what the defensive line created for them. So in all, they have one hell of a defense, and I would watch out for them being in the top 10 this year. Notre Dame is up there as well. They've got one hell of an offense, one hell of some receivers. Washington is not a top 10 team. In my opinion, their offensive line has to get a lot better for them to get to that point. Then you have South Carolina, who is not a bad team, coming into Georgia this week. And we'll do that in a whole another video before Saturday. Probably Saturday morning, actually. That'd be nice. So you guys take it easy, and I will talk to y'all later.